So check this out, guys. In the Mekong Delta, there is a village that's making serious money by turning rats into a culinary gold mine. Now, you ask me, New York's been doing that for a while. Now, these ain't your nasty city rats, obviously, that you see in New York City or anything. I grew up in New York City. We're talking about wild, rice-fed rodents that are considered a delicacy in Vietnam. And the villagers, they catch them, they process them, and they export them. They export this meat all over the country. And apparently it tastes like a mix between fatty chicken and pork. Wow. Who knew, right? I always thought they were cooking rats in the Chinese restaurants, but that's because, we like to stereotype. But anyway, before we get started, guys, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button. For some reason, I don't know what it is. YouTube, at one point, it was pushing all my videos out, and then out of nowhere, it just stopped pushing them. I don't know what's going on, what I did different, what I did wrong. But anyway, let's get started.
This entire Mekong village runs on rats. They process hundreds of thousands of them every single day for meat. But what if I told you that it's far from a desperation food? That these villagers are making bank, that rat meat in these villages is now so highly sought after that they're literally importing these things from Cambodia just to meet the demand.
There's a good 100, 200 families here that make a living purely off rat meat.
You see, there's something special, something unique about rats in this.
To us, this may be nasty. Let me say this. To us, this may be nasty. This may be disgusting or whatever. That's how we're going to see it because we're not used to that. We can't, I joke around like on my TikTok. I'll post weird videos of food. I'm like, oh my God. But you can't really make fun of what people are eating. That's what they have. That's the food they have. That's what they're going to live off of, man. You know what I mean? And because we're not used to it, because we eat cow, some of us eat pig, chicken, and maybe some lamb. What else? Yeah. That's about it. And then, of course, you got the fish and stuff. But even then, there's fish that we don't eat and other people do. That's all we're used to. We're used to our restaurants, our burgers and stuff, our normal food or what we think is normal food. Other people got different types of food that they use. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So we got to be considerate of that. You know what I mean? If you were there and that's what you had for protein, you'd probably be eating a rat burger. Or God knows, you probably already have and you don't know it.
Area and the processing that goes down in this village that supposedly has them tasting amazing.
How often are you going to eat a rat in your life?
But how can a creature renowned for spreading disease and parasites even be safe to eat, let alone have a reputation like this?
It doesn't look that bad.
But what the hell? Why are rats from this area so special, in such high demand, that they literally both import them and export them? Let's find out.
Every one of these rats is trapped in the wild, along rice field banks. It's something I've experienced firsthand hunting with my mentor, An Huang. The process is pretty simple, but it is effective. Hunters like An Huang create a huge amount of bamboo spring-loaded rat snares. These are then placed throughout the seemingly endless rice fields over any and all of the nest entrances.
So we are sort of working against the clock here, people. Light is fading and also rain is coming in. The general idea is this: we have a bamboo snare with a piece of rubber at the top. There's a fair bit of tension.
Sorry,
you sort of really load these up. Jeez. Sort of really load these up. Oh my God, I have no idea how this works. Oh, here we go, I'm getting professional help. So the big one's on the bottom and then this goes underneath. Got it. Up and through the bottom of the loop.
Oh.
And it's a goner. Hopefully we catch a bunch. We have loaded up this riverbank with maybe 20, 25 snares right now. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. I've got to admit, this snare thing, it's a lot harder than it looks. I tried to load one up myself several times, and let's just say it ended in embarrassment. Not as easy of a task as it looks.
Many of these areas are remote. It can take hours to trek to the inner fields that have no roads connecting to them, and it is hugely labor intensive. But this method is effective, and it provides food for the villagers, prevents crops from damage, and it is more humane and environmentally conscious than the alternative, which is poisoning.
Honestly, we've been trekking through just sort of swampy land for a good 30-40 minutes now just to get to these guys.
Yo, it's too.
I think Anton really wanted to get a mouse for us, a rat for us today, and just went balls to the wall. This has definitely settled it for me. That thing is no mouse. These things are freaking huge. These are definitely rice field rats.
Cái này cũng có kinh tế nữa. Mùa chuột thường thì mùa chuột có là mùa xuân. Mùa xuân là chuột mùa lúa chín, mùa gần Tết á là chuột rồi rất thơm, rất béo. Cái mùa đó tụi anh đi đánh một đêm á, tụi anh kiếm có thể 2 triệu, 3 triệu, 20-30 ký. Bán người ta có người thu mua, người ta mua xong rồi người ta bán quán, có quán bán cái chuột nữa. Nhưng họ làm rất nhiều món.
Okay guys, watching this, come on. You cannot tell me that does not look pretty good. Don't get me wrong, there's still that mental hurdle there. How often are you going to eat a rat in your life?
Never.
But there are far more rats than the farmers could ever eat. You see, the Mekong Delta is in many regards Vietnam's breadbasket. This one area produces more than half of Vietnam's rice. And Vietnam is the 3rd largest rice exporter in the entire world. Basically, there's a lot of rice here.
Hello, xin chào.
Xin chào.
Xin chào.
And among all that rice is a lot of rats. And that's where the village of Phu Yat comes in. This tiny village, tucked away on one of the smaller tributaries of the Mekong, is all about rats.
We have just arrived at the rat village and there seems to be rats everywhere. Every kind of rat stuff that I would call a mouse. Here in Vietnamese, everything is just chook. It's pretty hard to distinguish between a rat and a mouse. There is just one word. Well, I don't know. There's some mice, there's some rats, there's some big ones, there's some small ones. This place is kind of wild.
Every family here has a relationship with trappers. They catch the rats from the vast expanses of rice fields in Vietnam's Mekong Delta and even those stretching into Cambodia. Each day, the trappers bring in the fresh catch by truck or by motorcycle.
Entire truck coming here, delivering.
Oh, fun fact, that motorcycle you saw, that was the first motorcycle I ever rode. We got those in the Dominican Republic, and that was where I learned how to ride motorcycles, on one of those when I was like 12 or 13.
Tray after tray after tray of rats. Pretty crazy sight.
They bring them in large stacked steel cages loaded to the brim with rats. They've even been roughly sorted by size and color.
My wife would
potentially
die.
even species, although I'm really not sure about that. If there are any rat experts, please let me know in the comments.
They sort of scrape along the top of the cages to make the rats move around a little bit. They pick out the largest ones, and the largest rats that are available are all being transported into one container for eating.
The size of that thing, bro. Look at the size. Hold on, man. Let's go back real quick. Bro.
Are all being transported into one.
Look at the size of that. That's a regular sized man. Well, you know, for that country. Look at the size of that rat, bro. It goes from, if the rat would lay out, it would go from here to probably right here. No, maybe more than that, actually. Yeah, it'll probably be, that's with the tail. If we take that tail off, it's from here to here. That's still very big. It's from here to here. That's a big rat, bro. That's a big rat. That's a chihuahua. That's not a rat. That's a chihuahua.
Container for eating. So we're just walking around. It's not like the giantest village, you know what I mean? Rats can only sustain an economy that's so large, but there's a good 100, 200 families here that make a living purely off rat meat.
Jesus Christ, bro. I just saw a hair.
And when the deliveries arrive, each family
vegan.
quickly springs into action.
Everyone
from young and old has a role to play here, and there are many, many stations.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a gory sight at this point. This video almost stands no chance of not getting demonetized, I think. We'll have to see.
First, the rats are quickly dispatched with a rock. The tail and feet are then removed, and the rat is skinned. Next, the ears are removed and kept separate. These are sold as fish food.
Why would you pick up sea monkeys when you could feed your fish rabbits? Perfectly logical, really.
From here, the animals are then gutted. Notably though, if it is a male, the penis is removed.
Oh
They sell
my God.
1 kilo of rat penises for $50,000. It's like $2.50 for a whole kilo of rat penis. If that's not a deal, I don't know what is.
Bro, the world, we live in our own bubbles, man. We're in a bubble here thinking we're seeing stuff, doing stuff. They're selling rat penis, bro. Where is it, a kilo or 2 kilos of rat penis for $2.50? And eggs over here are like really expensive. Come on, we got rat penis over there.
Finally, it is washed and carefully packaged on ice for shipment to customers all over southern Vietnam.
And so that's it. That's this giant conveyor belt of rat processing that we have here. There must be 200 kilos worth of rats. And this entire family has just gathered around into this giant factory-like process, this conveyor belt processing of rats. What a wild village, man. Incredible stuff.
And as night draws on, families throughout the village keep processing. Despite their speed, it's going to take hours and hours to get through today's shipment. And while it may look shocking, these guys are proud of their work and of the final product. I think it's why rat from this village is so sought after. The labor here is done with a level of care and professionalism that ensures a genuinely high quality of meat. It's 100% organic, wild-caught, grain-fed rat that's fat from the endless supply of rice.
You know, a shrimp salesman once told me that he could charge more for processed Vietnamese shrimp because of the level of detail the Vietnamese factory workers had, that they were good with their fingers and that they were able to keep meticulous condition of the shrimp. And you can see it here. This entire family is so quick and so swift, and every cut is so precise.
Here, it's looked on much the same way as other small game, such as rabbit or squirrel. And so I couldn't leave here
Wow.
without seeing what all the fuss is about. Is rat from this village actually that good?
I love traveling the world. I traveled a lot, all over the world. All last year I was when I was my job, I traveled all over the place and do stuff. And I got to see a lot of things. I didn't get to go to Vietnam or anything, but I did go to Spain and went to Japan and stuff. I've been to a lot of places in Africa, in the Middle East. But seeing how other people operate, other people live is a beautiful thing. And I think you should try to experience at least one time in your life.
Okay, so we just saw this lovely lady dispatching what may have been one of the largest rats in this village. She's even agreed to cook it up for me. How kind is that? Let's see how this is. I'm trying to cross this road without dying right now. I don't want to die in the Mekong.
Wow. Only because I know
At
what
this
it
point,
is.
it's probably been sizzling away for a good 10, 15 minutes. I mean, seems like they cook these things pretty heavily,
Only because I know what it is, and I'm glad they cook it heavily. Because I don't like my rat medium rare. I don't like my rat anyway, but I don't like my rat. But still, if I had to eat it, I probably would. But I don't know.
pretty well through. Just that's how I like my rat, actually. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. That looks good, man. I ain't gonna lie. Wow. Because I know what it is. Because I know what it is. But if I didn't, I'm telling you, when you go to these Asian restaurants, you're gonna see this and you're gonna remember this. You know what I mean? One thing about the Asians, bro, they season. I don't know. All the Asian food I've eaten, Thai food, you know, Chinese food, Japanese food. They make some fried chicken, bro. Japanese fry some chicken. But they know how to season, bro. They season so good.
Okay guys, so moment of truth. This is the part where we find out why the rat from this village is in such heavy demand. Why is it that this is getting shipped all around Saigon? Why is it that literally truckloads of these things are being processed in this village? Now, I've eaten rat before, so one I really want to see here is this significantly different from the rat that I've had before by the Chu in Ninh Thuan province? Because this looks really different. This, when it's sort of been fried like this in the oil, has a real look of like fried chicken, and it looks pretty good, I've got to admit. It smells pretty good, and it doesn't look like a rat at all anymore. There's a surprising amount of meat on this, of fat. It looks kind of juicy. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, whoa. Oh my God, that is so fatty. That is crazy. Man, dude, that is absolutely wild. I've got to admit, really effing good. But this has a real clean flavor. It sort of tastes like a really fatty chicken. If chicken had a ton of fat, it would be just like this. I've got to admit, that's just plain good. No bullshit. If something is bad, I will say it on camera. I'm kind of lost for words. That is a really fatty chicken leg or turkey. Huh. I think maybe the trick when you're eating rat is to just eat something that is literally that big. You really want something that's giant. And I've heard that squirrel is quite good as well. And maybe it's something similar to this, but it has a really clean flavor. It's nothing like what I've eaten before, actually. It's not actually even that hard to eat because it doesn't have that sort of rat-like appearance. I've even eaten rat head before, and compared to that, this is a breeze. If someone served this to you and you had no idea what it was, you'd be begging for more. I promise you guys. I think they even had the organs attached, but I can't see it. I'm gonna dip a little bit in this chili sauce, and then that's a little bit it. Just see what that tastes like. Oh my God, wow. Dude, that's crazy.
Is it?
I know everything is supposed to taste like chicken, but this is like a mix between chicken and pork. Super fatty chicken mixed with
it looked like pork
belly.
to me. It looked like pork.
So much fat on this creature, I cannot believe it. From a sort of rice field rat, a wild rat, you'd think it'd be scrawny, nothing like the kind of big city rats you see, but this thing, man, exceptional. I don't know what exactly happens in this area, but it kind of makes sense to me. I now see why the rat meat from this area is in such high demand, why everybody wants it, why not only are they exporting it to Saigon, they're importing more of them in from the surrounding villages just so they can process it. This was pretty sensational. That is it for this video, guys. If you have somehow made it this far, I would like to thank you for watching.
Bro, listen. rat. Again, you can't knock what other people are doing for food, man. As long as they're not eating humans, you can't knock it, bro. But it's amazing what people can eat. These people, I love watching food videos. I may do more food reaction videos because they eat people or human. As long as it's natural and we're not eating like city rats, that's when you'll probably drop dead at the first bite or something. But I think we can eat anything, man. And anything can eat us. But, you know. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. Like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. And I will see you on the next smoke.